Hello and welcome. My name is Dove, and I'm so excited to have you here. Let's do some yoga. Please ignore this really annoying piece of hair. Grab your smoothie or your water, and we'll meet on our mat. Let's start by shaking it out. You can jump up and down, allow your arms and neck to swing. Shake the hands and the feet. Twist through the body, root the feet, and as you bend the knees, roll the shoulders back. Continue this motion with your breath, sinking into the hips as you roll the shoulders back, adding on. This time, hands come to the shoulders as you roll it back. Feeling a beautiful opening through the chest, starting to warm up through the entire body, milking the motion, not rushing it, enjoying it. Continue to add on full circles with the arms as you sink into the knees, coming through a chair pose. Get ready the next time you sink down to Utkatasana chair pose. Hold here for a few deep breaths. You got it. Do that one more time, sinking down into your chair. Hold it here. Feel the fire. Bring the hands to heart center. Twist to the side. Left elbow, right knee. Use that arm to help open through the chest and twist other side. Nice work. Back to center and back up to standing. Folding forward, relax and release into your forward fold. Here, use your arms to draw a figure eight on your mat or towards the ground. Use the weight of the upper body to stretch through the backs of the legs, like a rag doll hanging here, option to bend through the knees, or step the feet onto the hands. This should be a comfortable, passive forward fold where you're allowing gravity to do the work for you. Now we're going to have some real fun with it. Come up to a flat back, but rather than a traditional flat back where we bring the hands towards the knees, what you're going to do is allow the arms to be passive, totally loose, limp, and relaxed, forcing the core to work harder and also focusing on elongating through the spine. So rather than just thinking about having the back straight, thinking about it being as long as possible. Beautiful. Back up to standing. We're going to find a seated position on the mat, opening the knees wide. Baddha Konasana, or butterfly. And you can bring the hands behind you, shift side to side, open through the shoulders and the chest. Soles of the feet together, hold onto the big toes, and Care Bear stare forward as you slowly bring the heart towards the feet. Eventually folding the head over. You can pulse here if that feels good, or just relax and hang out. Enjoy one more deep breath here, and one vertebrae at a time. Stack the spine as you come up to a straight back. And then we're going to do some seated cats and cows, arching and curving the spine. Bring the hands behind you, knees windshield wiper, side to side. Release the hips. Now keep the knees stacked on one side and come down to the mat. We're going to clamshell the legs open, and as you do this, pretend that there's two magnets on the knees, and as you push them together, they are resisting. So engage through the glutes, keep the toes together, and you can tent the fingers one more time. And then we're going to roll onto the other side, clamshells with the other leg. Open as high as you can with the knee, as long as you're not rolling back, staying on your side. Open and close those clamshells. Beautiful. One more time. Open and close, and then roll onto the back. Hug the knees into the chest. Tell yourself you love yourself. Give yourself a big hug. Keep the right leg in, left leg long. Draw the leg across the body, side to side, almost like mini spinal twist. And now roll open through the hip. Holding onto your knees, circling it around. Reach for your strap. I'm going to mime it out. Put the strap around the leg, or reach for the foot or a big toe as you gently begin straightening that leg. Still warming up here, so just going as far as feels good for you. Feeling free to keep a bend in that leg. Deep, full breaths. You got it. One more breath. And release the right leg down long. Enjoy one full breath here, noticing the difference between the two sides. And on the inhale, draw the left leg up. Start moving it across the body, first side to side. Don't watch the dummy on the screen. They forgot to go side to side first. Keep those eyes closed as you breathe deeply into the hip and circle it around. Beautiful. Reach for your strap or foot and extend the left leg long. Feeling free to keep a bend in that leg and breathing here into our full split. Close down the eyes and enjoy the stretch. One more breath and release that leg long, full breath to recover. On the exhale, sigh it out. And then bring both hands and feet to the right corners of the mat. Crescent moon or C shape. Breathe here. Both shoulders and sits bones are on the ground. On the next inhale, come back through center. Full breath here. And now over to the other side. Both hands and feet, creating a crescent moon or C shape on the other side. This pose is called Banana Asana because it looks like the shape of a banana. On each and every exhale, allow yourself to sink deeper into total relaxation. One more breath here. And back through center, hug the arms and legs into the body. Arms out to the side, knees stacked over to one side, spinal twist, great pose for our digestion. As we imagine the internal organs being massaged here by our twist, option to look over in the opposite direction that the knees are going, or up to the sky. On the next inhale, legs come up through center and over to the other side. If you're looking up, continue looking up, or look to the opposite side. One more breath in your reclined spinal twist. And then bring the knees back to center and rock and roll it out, massaging through the spine. Maybe open up the knees to the side, legs to a 90-degree angle. We'll fire up those abs with some crunches. Here we go. Option to keep the feet on the mat or bring them up, whatever you like. And then we're going to move into some bicycles. So keep one leg where it is. Bring the other leg up and opposite elbow to the knee, or just keep crunching. Another variation is to continue your regular crunches, but tap one toe down and then the other, or bring the leg straight and the other, whatever works for you to fire up through those abs. You got it. Keep going, keep pushing. A little longer, 2 more breaths. Yes, there you go. One more. Nice. Through a boat pose, hold and release. Seated cat-cow. You can forward and back. Release it out here, whatever feels good. Swing the legs around into two 90-degree angles. Deer pose. This is option number 1, where you have one leg parallel to the short side of the mat, other leg parallel to the long side of the mat. Or number 2, come to a king pigeon. Settling in whichever pose feels right for you, and wherever you're at, making your way down to the mat. We're gonna hang out here for a little while. So if you have a block, holster, or pillow that you'd like to use in order to make yourself more comfortable, feel free to do so. On an inhale, slowly push yourself back up to a seated pigeon, rolling the neck around. We're going to tent the fingers. Now we're going to get funky with it. We're going to roll the ribs. Roll through the rib cage here. You can get the shoulders going into it, and then roll through the neck, roll through the rib cage, roll the shoulders, through the entire upper body. Just finding some new movement here. Typically we're so focused on the hips in this hip opening pose that we're shifting our attention into this upper body and maybe finding some movements that we haven't before. Beautiful. Swing the leg that was in the back around to the front. Come to the other side. Option number 1, 90-90, deer pose, fold here. Or number 2, come into your pigeon. Nice. Take a moment here, and on the exhale, come down to that. This time I invite you to bring the backs of the hands close to the hips on the ground, the palms facing up towards the ceiling. As you relax into this pose, this is a nice release for the shoulders. Slowly emerge from a sleeping to an awake pigeon. And once again, we're going to do that fun movement that we did on the other side, tenting the fingers, rolling through the ribs. You can roll through the neck and the shoulders, whatever feels good for you, closing the eyes and flowing intuitively. The leg that's behind you comes out to the side as you transfer onto your sits bone. Side stretch here, reaching up and over. I'm going to turn so you can see what I'm doing. Top arm, elbow reaches up towards the ceiling, so it's okay if you're not reaching your foot. Feeling the opening there and using your opposite elbow against your knee or thigh to help complete that opening, beautiful side stretch. One full deep breath. And switch to the other side. Reaching up and over the opposite leg. And once again, check in that we're not just trying trying to reach for our foot, but rather bring that top arm elbow up to the sky. And with the bottom arm, use that elbow against the knee or the thigh. Wow, look at that opening. Beautiful. Feel that creation of space and breathing into it. You got it. On an exhale, release your side stretch. Roll out the neck, the ribs, and then roll over into your tabletop. Transition here into your first downward dog. Roll over the toes, push the hips up and back. Beautiful. You can walk out your dog, move the hips side to side, wag the tail. And then we're going to do some scapula push-ups. So we're going to push up and down, dumping the weight in and out of the shoulders. So without moving the arms at all, but see the movement that's going on here. You got it. Walking through the feet, pedaling the toes, making whatever movement feels good for you in your downward dog, reaching the heart towards the knees. Full deep breaths. Come back to the hands and knees and reach the right arm forward, left leg back. Beautiful. Bird dog pose. Engage through the abs. Flex the foot and see if you can reach a little further. Lengthen from the tips of the toes to the fingertips. On an exhale, release that. Come to the other side. Engage the core and hold for a few deep breaths. On an exhale, arm and leg, lower back down through table, roll over the feet into Malasana or low squat. And walk those feet a little wider apart and use the elbows to push the legs out as the palms are together at heart center, closing down the eyes and breathing here. To transition, place both hands down onto the mat. Keep the elbows locked into the knees as you come to an arm balance crow pose. See if you can hold this for a few breaths. Then we're going to roll back over the feet into a forward fold. Notice how your forward fold feels now compared to at the start of class. You can rock forward and back on the front of the feet, bend the toes. Place the left hand down on the mat, reach the right arm up to the sky, twist. And then opposite side, bring the opposite arm up and bending the opposite leg. Reverse swan dive into your chair for old time's sake. Sit a little deeper. And coming up, release, relax, back to standing. Step forward with the left foot. Warrior 3. If it's too much with the arms out to the front, feel free to bring them out to the side like an airplane or on the hips to balance. On the next exhale, release that pose. Come to the other side, finding your Warrior 3. Breathe it out here. You're doing great. We're almost done. And let it go. To release that, move and shake. Do whatever movement feels right for you, whether you're rolling the shoulders, the ribs, the hips, the neck, the legs. And then make your way onto the mat, feeling free to take any final position you'd like here, whether you want to do a reclined butterfly, whether you want to do a happy baby, or maybe you want to do a reclined position, maybe a shoulder stand, or into a plow. Any final movements that your body is calling for, honor that, and then we'll all meet in our final resting pose, in our corpse position, preparing for Savasana. palms down to ground or up to receive, out from the hips. Feet are along the corners of the mat, falling open. Allow the control of the breath to let go. Simply observe the natural rhythm of the breath and really give yourself full permission to totally shut off and allow this time for your body to soak in all of the hard work that you've put in on the mat. Taking a breath of gratitude for you for taking this time for your practice. And welcoming the waves of relaxation washing over your body. Slowly reach the left arm up, right leg up, and turn to the side. Take a few breaths here in a fetal position as you slowly transition up into a comfortable seated position on the mat. Closing our practice with the chant of Om together one time. Feel free to join me or just listen. Inhale to prepare. Exhale. Thank you so much for joining in today's video. If you enjoyed, make sure to give it a thumbs up. Subscribe down below. I hope my messy hair didn't bother you as much as it annoyed me. Comment your favorite pose in the comments. Bye for now, and I'll see you next time.